Hi everyone. So thank you for joining today's sharing session. And I'm Nipuawan Shlaiseming, and I'll be the moderator for tonight's sharing session. So I'll first like to introduce our speaker, Wesley, who is fun fact, our ex-finance master and also our president for the term 22 and 23. And his sharing session today will be about engineering beyond the classroom, leveraging experience for career success. So enough talking from me, and let's welcome our speaker, Wesley, and I'll leave the stage to you.
Okay, so can you guys hear me? I hope my sound is loud and clear. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so yeah, I would like to thank AIROST for inviting me for giving this talk. And yeah, just some introduction about me. My name is Yong Jie. You guys can call me Wesley. And currently I'm a front end IC design graduate engineer. And I study Bachelor of Electronics Engineering with honors. And I just graduated recently, so I'm now UTM alumni. And for your information, I'm the ex-IELTS president and Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador. So some achievement is that I like to join hackathons during my university time, and so I won like 6-time finalists and 2-time top 3 in national and international hackathons. So today's topic is about engineering beyond the classroom, leveraging experience for career success. So I'm going to share with you how is the journey during my university time and how extracurricular involvement shaped my journey until today and become an IC design graduate engineer. So yeah, so I think a lot of the participants today are just year one, and then you guys are just getting into UTM. And I was just like you guys once upon a time. I come from a small town in Sarawak, and then I enter UTM in 2020. And a fun fact is that it was a COVID era, whereby my year one, my whole year one, and then my year two semester one is online. So I just stay at home, and then this is where I origin. I coming from Surin, and then I study in Tarat, SMK Tarat, just a small secondary school in my town. And before I enter UTM, I study at Laba Matriculation College. So I'll just give you guys an overview about, yeah, I was once just like you guys entering UTM. And these are some of the achievements that I mentioned just now. And these are all the pictures that for the involvement that I involved throughout my university time. So this is the today agenda. So first I will share about my growth and development journey throughout my university. And then when coming into the industry, what are the industry ready skill set that I am aware of when I step into my career based on my experience, connecting the dot, semiconductor industry, and last but not least is time management before we proceed to Q&A session. So how I started my journey in my university and then involved in all kinds of competition and clubs and so on, right? So it's all started when I just entered UTM, and then just like you guys, and then I was surveying about clubs to join in UTM, and I come across AIROST Facebook post where I see all the seniors like Oscar, and then yeah, that is the picture of the ex-president before me, Si Yan, and so on. And I was wondering like, oh, what is this club is doing? And then so that's why I become curious about this thing when I first come into the uni, and then I feel like IELTS is an interesting club to know about, and then I just go and understand more about these clubs. So this is where I started to join as a member. And after I'm joining the clubs, I started to join competition just like the previous art seniors, like Oscar, which is I was alumni as well, and I won the Can You Hack It hackathon, which is one of the competition that I joined during that time, because I meet a lot of friends and then the members in the clubs, and we just team up, and then we wanted to like, hey, why not we try to join some competition just like our seniors, and then to get the feel of how is the what can we learn, and then what we can gain from those competition that our senior joins before. And this way I've win the Can You Hack It hackathon in year 2021 and offered an project internship. And and then I continue on to join more competition and then win like 4 awards with 10 finalists throughout the way until I started to wanted to explore something new, and then that's where I started to explore about doing a startup because I was inspired by our supervisor of AIROST, Dr. Yong, that time. And then we had an opportunity to come across a problem statement in property industry. So I was given a chance by my supervisor to continue on and then work on that problem statement so that we can come up with some solution to solve that kind of problem statement. So this way I started the interview and my first startup with my co-founder and so on. So this is the time during my year 3. And during my third year internship, so I was joining as a IC front end design internship with Offstar. So Offstar is just one of the IC design company in Malaysia. So if you guys from electronics, for those in electronics, right? So these are some of the companies that you guys can go on for internship. And until today, I landed as a job as a IC front end design engineer. So the whole involvement that I had during my university time seems like a smooth journey, right? But the fun fact is that actually throughout the way, I failed 9 times before the first winning of top 3 in one competition. And I was struggling as well in maintaining my first startup and also my academy, and also the balance between the academy and also my extracurricular involvement. And I felt like around 4 interviews in securing my internship. But the start and how does all these things get started? So it's only get started when I decide to give it a try. And the remaining is just history now. So I believe that every event happen, there will be an outcome. So this is my growth development. So during my first year and second year, I was joining AIROST Club to build my technical skill sets through projects. And then through the experience of failing competition, I sharpened my analytical skill and pitching skills. So just to let you guys know that previously when I'm in year 1, I can't really speak English as compared to now. So now would be better. I mean, as compared to year 1, I can't really speak English, and then I can't really, speak in front of other people and do online sharing just like now I was doing. And winning competition helped to strengthen my resume profile, while exploring startup helped me to learn the process to turn idea into a viable product, right? So I also learned to know like how to utilize the resources, how to do slides, how to master the pitching skills through exploring startups. And my internship and final year projects helped me to land on my current job. So back to the topic today, how actually hands-on experience and extracurricular involvement shaped my journey during my university time until today. I become an IC design graduate engineer. So the first thing is that I involved in clubs like AIROST. AIROST is one of the technological clubs in UTM. And then we do projects, we do joint competition, and we have a lot of networking opportunity with the industry as well. And this way I brush up my technical skills. And during my time in IROS, right? So I still remember I involved in like projects on web development and then Python development and so on. So that is where I exposed to web programming and Python projects, in which I don't really think our my syllabus, I mean me as a electronics engineering student, I don't think our syllabus is having Python's language, but not so sure about now, right? Because I think the syllabus is changed already. And during my time in IROS, I also meet out with a lot of friends that are like-minded, and then we just that is where I find friends to join competition as well. And not only involvement in clubs, I also involved in other kinds of activities that brush up my soft skill development, whereby I manage workshop during my time in IROS and then conduct workshop. So this is just some of the things that I joined, like the MySQL workshop, basics of Flutter programming, and Git and GitHub workshop. And yeah, this is just the competition that I joined and then I won. So I joined like around 20 competition, but I can honestly tell you that I failed like half of them. So it's not easy that I was failing like a lot of time until I was able to master the skills and know like what are the essential requirements and the pitching skill, my technical skill, until I would be able to join one competition. And this is just some of the involvement that I have, like NASA Space Apps, and then ExxonMobil Data World Challenge, Low Touch High Impact 2022, and Can You Hack It Hackathon Asian Edition. And so, what are the benefits, right? If you join competition, other than maybe just winning the awards and so on. So first is you can network with the industry, and then second is like I just wanted to tell you guys a story whereby uh when I joining the Can You Hack It Hackathon Asian Edition, I don't really have any. Yeah, I do have a little bit skills in technical, but then I don't have any experience that time, and then I didn't really won any competition before, and just because of I just go and try, and then I do what I can to win the competition, and out unexpectedly unexpectedly I was able to win the top 10, and the Honor Bank actually offered me an project internship. So this is just something really unexpected, right? So if you join competition, not only you cash prizes, you are able to gain like something out of that, right, through networking. So this is some other pictures, the evidence that I joined. And one more thing is like if you join competition and then you won by representing UTM, then actually UTM does actually give you guys awards. So Anugerah Penghargaan Khas is the awards that I was getting from GEMA, which is an award session given by UTM. And other than the clubs, the competition. I also explore startup. So this is also very interesting things, right? So during that time, I was doing a web-based solution that have features like tenancy agreement generation and property management. And even though the startup wasn't a real success right now, but the whole experience is life changing for me because I was able to make connection and then I know how to market a product as well and have several skill sets that being improved, like my communication and so on. So okay, so this is the journey of my involvement during my university time. So when I step into the career, I realized about there are several skill sets that you will need to be aware of in order to industry ready. So one would be the pitching skill, presentation, and communication. Because as an engineer, you will need to deal with people. You will need to know how to deal with your boss, and then you will need to do presentation as well to deliver your ideas and so on. And a lot of time, right? Technical jobs are did, so it will be still the same, but the way you communicate with people and then how are you able to lead a team and so on would be the factor for you to advance in your career. Next would be continuous learning. Even if you have graduated, right, as electronics engineer, I would say the learning process is still need to be ongoing, and you will need to adapt because the things that you learn is going to be fast changing. Right, today you do these jobs, right, on a specific area, maybe like me in IC design, right? So tomorrow you will be need to involve in another project that is really different with this one. Problem solving skills, mm, time management, and then never give up, right? So I just wanted to bring out through my story, my involvement. I fail a lot of times, and the process is not that smooth as well. So you need to learn. I mean, the key point is that don't give up when you encounter failure. And in terms of technical skill, for general IC design skill sets, so these are the skill sets that you will need to be aware of. So currently, I'm just focusing on the electronics IC design skill sets. So you need to know about OOP, object-oriented programming, version control system. We do use it as well, not only in software, and then Unix and Linux environment, scripting language like Python and Perl, and some of the electronics domains that we will need to know, like VLSI design concept. So for this one, right, I think most of the if you are electronics student, then you will take this course for VLSI design in your year 3. So this would be one of the quite essential technical skill for you to be involved in IC design industry, and also EDA tools for like quarters and so on. And this is specifically for technical skill in IC design. So this is not for software programming, but for software, I think it would be more wide, right? You will need to know about cloud. You will need to know about the uh, GitHub as well, OOP, the basic concept, because you are going to bring it to anywhere. So this is about the technical skill sets in IC design. So I thought about my journey and then the things that I realized during regarding the industrial ready skill sets. So now I wanted to bring out interesting quotes by Steve Jobs called connecting the dots. So basically, my involvement from IELTS club, failing competition, and so on, right? It actually connects the dots and bring it to where I'm now today as an IC design engineer. So in AIROST Club, I joined projects in which I mentioned just now, and that's where I exposed to technical skills like version control, Unix, OP when I involved in projects. And failing competition is where I sharpen my problem solving and also my pitching skill. And winning competition strengthen my resume, in which I mentioned just now. Exploring startup, from just now I say about I learned about the how to market a product, how to turn an idea into a product. It will seem not relevant, but there is also the time way I learn to manage my time and then adapt as well, because I will need to deal with my academics and my involvement in clubs and also my maintaining the startup. And internship and FIP, how it actually helped me to land my job is actually it gives me an exposure to IC design industry. And seems like each of them are not so related as well, but I think that these are all the factors that lead me to where I am today as a IC design engineer in Adosis. So when you look back, you might realize that every decision that you made is connected together without you realizing it. I don't really know that during my time when I joined, uh, wanted to start the startup, would um, I can't really predict my future that time, that I will be landed as a IC design graduate engineer when I wanted to start my startup, right? And then I don't really can predict that where am I doing when I first joined IROS Club, which is the starting of all the journey. And I also don't really know that I would be involved in so much competition when I first time, I mean, in the first day that I joined UTM and then joined IROS Club as well. So you can't really know, right, how the decision that you made is being connected together. So my advice is just don't regrets on your university time life and then just make it full of it. Okay, so yep, live your university time, no regrets. So no matter what involvement that you did, your decision and so on, just uh, do the best and then don't leave your university time empty. Okay, so after my sharing just now, I would not like to bring about the semiconductor industry, which is relevant to my topic today, right? So for you guys, right? I mean, for those who are studying electronics, actually, yeah, you are actually making a quite good decision, because electronics is one of the uh, most export items in Malaysia, and it is one of the booming sector in Malaysia right now. And there will be more and more job opportunity being created. It's like Selangor IC design part, right? The salary can be up to 5,000, and even in Penang here, we are having like few hundreds to thousands of companies in electronics sector. So I wanted to bring out a message that try to be aware of what is happening. What about those that didn't choose electronics engineering? Okay, so software is good as well, right? Okay, software is also like one of the most high pay job in Malaysia. I mean, not the most high pay, but consider high pay as well, similar with the electronic sector. Yeah, go for AI, right? So even now UTM, right, in KL is establishing the faculty of AI, and the trend is there. Foreign company are building out their data center here, and then there is no more and more foreign company that come to Malaysia and build their they set up their center at here. So yeah, be aware of what is happening in Malaysia, and then be alert of the government initiative, because it's going to help you to fill the information gap of what does the industry want actually. Okay, so yep. So one more things is the actually this is being I would like to put in here about the time management. So just just some tips on time management. So actually this is a quite tricky things. So for me, there is only one way for you to manage your time, which is to figure out what is important and then what is not important. And you can use this framework, which is Howard matrix, to filter out what is urgent and then what is important, what is not urgent and then what is not important, to figure out what are the things to do, right? If you have a lot of things to do, if you have a lot of tasks to do in one time, so everything has a trade-off. You will not be able to do perfectly for everything. You will need to delete something that's not important, and then do the one that is urgent first to manage your time. So this is just tips that I could give. Okay, so I would like to pass back to Zheming, and then we'll proceed to Q&A. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Wesley, for the sharing session. And I particularly resonated with the point that failing is necessary for growth, and also always give it a try. Don't overthink it. So I also once again want to thank you, Wesley, for his valuable experiences in UTM and right now how he got here. So for you guys' information, right now we'll be having a Q&A, and then after that we'll be having a photo taking session and some info for recruitment, and finally we'll have a feedback form for attendance. So we'll have our Q&A session first. So anyone who has any questions, you can raise your hand to ask Wesley directly, or just put it in the chat box and I'll read it to him. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Zheming, I think we can allocate more time for Q&A lah, since I finished earlier.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or anybody has questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, this is a good question. Let me share my screen. Let me open my browser and share my screen. So I think Lim is a way of like define IC, front end IC, and then the back end, right? So yeah, I would be wanted to talk more about it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is the semiconductor value chain in which it is divided into front end and also back end. So first would be the design. Design would be okay. This is how actually a chip being created. So first of all, the front end company, right, is a design. The company that does the design, right, and they will be design in logic, and then the I mean in design also can be separated into front end and back end. So in front end, you will design the logic, and then in back end, you will be doing the place and route to do a chip design. So in that case, right, all the things are being done in laptop. So this computer, your design, your layout, and so on. And after that, they will send the files of the products to the back-end company to do the wafer fabrication. So the one popular is TSMC, and then in Malaysia we have Sutera, and this is where they do the wafer, and then after they done the wafer, they send to the other company to for packaging and testing before passing to the electronic manufacturing and manufacturing services to combine all the electronics components together. And after that, it will still need to be tested. So this is where we have the ATE and equipment to test the produced chipset. So like some of the companies like Vitrox is doing that. So front end is actually in this integrated circuit design, and then back end is wafer fabrication, packaging, and so on. Okay, and then inside IC design, right? Design flow, we have like several things also. So yup, these are things that I wanted to say. Okay, so in designing a IC, right, it can be differentiated into front end and back end as well. So in front end, you will be dealing with the logic. So after you done the design and then you do the verification, then you will pass to the physical design team to do the floor planning, placement, and routing. So it's like building a house, right? So before you build a house, you will need to do the piling into the sand and so on before you build out using the blocks and so on. Okay, so there is a difference of front end and back end in IC design and also in semiconductor industry. Okay, so okay, what is my day-to-day job be like? So depending on front end and back end, so I'm in front end sector, then my job is like to we will be having a specification of the things that we wanted to achieve, and then it will be designed by the design engineer, and then actually I'm under verification team, so I will be writing codes and then test benches to verify the design that is being done by the engineer. Okay, so I guess yeah. Okay, next question is like, is it harder to secure front end compared to back end? Seems like Malaysia focus on back end, although they are starting out some front end recently. Harder to secure front end. So in my case, I think not really, not really. So, but it would still be depending on what kinds of Do you like front end more or back end more, right? In IC design. So starting slowly. Oh, that is private, man. I'm not gonna tell you. Okay, I'm quite late for this kind of industry as a newbie. How should I bring myself starting involving in this kind of industry communities with only basic technical skill? So in semiconductor industry, I think you first, right, uh you will need to be aware of your academics. Okay, so the things that are being taught by in certain subjects, right, certain subjects that you will need to be aware, like VOSI and CAD, because this subject is the domain, and then you need to familiar with that because you are going to use it during your work. But then to be honest, right, so I think the courses that I take during my university time, right, mm, actually only like few subjects are relevant, and then so you need to. My advice is that try to involve in external projects and find internships. Right, you can find internship even you are year one or year two. Okay, and which third year elective are suitable for current industry? Electronic system design or microelectronics? Oh, okay. Actually, I'm expected because during my time in year one, right? Actually, I don't really know this thing. The whole IC design industry and so on. I only able to like get this kind of information after my internship, and then when I deal with like uh if I like for example like maybe I join competition like related to Intel, right? Then you're going to know more about it during my time. But I think nowadays are different already. Okay. So um okay, so for this question, right, I wouldn't be suggesting to you because it's going to depends on your interest, right? Are you more do you like microelectronic subjects more or electronic system design subjects more? You can see go through the curriculum and have an overview on that. Except that you wanted to ask me like maybe which courses are more preferred if you wanted to maybe do front design and so on. Yeah. Or maybe if you wanted to go into IoT and then AI, then what are the courses that I would prefer? Yeah. What is the basic requirement for joining IROS? I think this one, yeah, need to be. I will give that to Jeremy, right? Yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh, for arrows, right now we don't have any requirement. You just have to complete our 1 month internship, which is internship lah. As in 1 month you have to build a project either by yourself or we encourage building it by with your teammates, with your friends. So we will have like 6 problem statements to choose from. So I saw you mentioned about HTML CSS, so I assume you like web app development. So we also have web app development stuff too, problem statements. So you can choose that, and if you pass the internship and pitching, you can join Arrows lah. Yeah.
Okay. So I think, is there any more questions? So I think if no question, maybe I just pass back to Jeremy. Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, wait. Okay. Let me share back my screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think there is no more questions, so maybe I just pass back to Zheming.
Okay.
Mm.
So if there's no more questions, I think we can have a photo taking session first. Yeah. Everyone, please. Hey, I think there is one more question. Last
Oh,
question. Last question. Yeah. Last question before I
is
close.
electronics and computer science correlated? Is it easy to transfer from in between them? Have question. Okay, so I would say yes. Yeah, because so there's one benefits for those who study electronics, right? Because we know hardware, so we can go into embedded system. So embedded system is the software for integration between the hardware and software. And then we have like courses like embedded system, assembly, and then computer architecture that you will need to know if you go into this industry. So back to the question, is electronic and computer science correlated? I think is yes. But there's still some different between them. So computer science is actually a large, very very large mm, courses. Maybe yeah, it can be distributed into different fields, right? Like web apps, and then blockchain, AI. So it's really wide. So depending on which one that you wanted to go in, but for those right like web and so on right, then it might be not so related, but then you are able to apply your skills there, and then if you have external projects, then yeah, you are able to jump into computer science, but you need to prove that you are having like projects, and then you will have maybe experience through intern and so on. Okay, so I hope I answer your question. Mm. So yeah, if you
Uh,
need further clarification, then yeah, feel free to tell me.
okay. So thank you, Wesley. And I think right now we'll move on to the photo taking session. So everyone, please open your camera. Yeah. Thank you. I'll wait for one more minute. Okay, okay. Just for a while only. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I think we'll take a picture now in 10 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so okay, one more, one more. Okay, okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Wesley, I think we can move on with recruitment. Okay, yeah. So moving to the recruitment info. So this is our recruitment poster, in which just now, as I mentioned, we will have an interview first, and then we'll have an internship afterwards of 1 month to see if you are eligible to tackle on projects at AIROST. So Our recruitment actually ends tomorrow, 5 p.m. So those who haven't registered, please, you can register quickly now through this QR code and just fill this form. Yeah. And then, okay, next slide. Yeah. And then this will be our feedback form. So, oh yeah, or just now that recruitment, you can actually find it in our Instagram too at where's our Instagram? UTM Arrows. You can search UTM Arrows, you can find it there too. So anyone that missed it, you can go find there and scan this feedback form for giving us feedback on this session. Thank you, everyone. So I guess that will be the end of this talk. So thank you, Wesley, for joining our session today and giving your valuable experiences to us. And also thank you, everyone, for joining.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.